You step out of a doorway and onto a cobblestone street. The evening air is cool and damp, carrying the particular smell of London in autumn: coal smoke, wet stone, the distant river, and something sweet, roasting chestnuts from a cart you cannot yet see. The sky above is the color of pewter, low and heavy, the last daylight trapped in a layer of cloud that seems close enough to touch. The fog is coming. You can feel it in the moisture on your face, in the way the buildings at the end of the street have begun to soften and blur. London is about to disappear into itself, and you are here to walk through the vanishing. The lamplighter is ahead of you. He walks with the unhurried pace of a man who does this every evening, carrying a long pole with a small flame at its tip. He stops at each gas lamp, reaches up, opens the glass door, touches the flame to the mantle, and waits the 2 seconds it takes for the gas to catch and glow. Then he moves on. Each lamp he lights creates a small world of golden warmth in the growing dark, a sphere of amber light, perhaps 10 feet across, sharp at the center and soft at the edges, where it dissolves into the fog. The lamplighter is an artist. He paints the city in pools of gold. One lamp at a time, the fog thickens. It does not arrive all at once. It builds layer by layer, like gauze being wrapped around the city. First, the far end of the street disappears. Then the middle distance goes soft. Then the buildings closest to you lose their sharp edges, their cornices and windowsills dissolving into the grey. The gas lamps, which a moment ago illuminated the street, now illuminate only themselves, each one a bright, isolated halo floating in the mist. The fog changes everything. Distance becomes uncertain. Sound becomes muffled. The city, which is one of the largest and loudest in the world, becomes quiet and intimate and strange. The cobblestones beneath your feet are smooth and slightly damp. They are rounded granite sets, each one about the size of a bread loaf, fitted together in a pattern that has survived decades of iron-rimmed carriage wheels and hobnailed boots. In the gaslight, the wet stones gleam, each one catching a tiny reflection of the lamp above, creating a field of small golden mirrors stretching in every direction. Your footsteps make a satisfying sound on the stone, a crisp, regular rhythm that echoes off the building facades on either side. In the fog, the echo returns slightly delayed, as if someone is walking just behind you, matching your pace exactly. A horse-drawn cab passes slowly through the fog. The horse appears first, a dark shape materializing from the mist, its breath coming in long white plumes, its hooves clopping on the cobblestones in a slow, patient rhythm. Then the cab itself, a hansom, its black body polished to a dull shine, the driver perched high at the back, his face hidden in the collar of his greatcoat. A passenger is visible through the small window, reading by the light of a tiny oil lamp mounted inside the cab. The entire assembly passes you like a dream, horse and cab and reader, and is swallowed by the fog behind you. The sound of hooves lingers after the shape has gone. A chestnut seller stands at the corner, his brazier glowing deep red in the fog. The chestnuts roast on a flat iron plate, splitting open along their scored shells, releasing steam and a smell so rich and sweet it makes you stop. The man is wrapped in a heavy coat and scarf, his face ruddy from the heat of the brazier, his hands quick and practiced as he turns the nuts with a wooden spatula. He hands you a paper cone of chestnuts without a word. They are hot through the paper, almost too hot to hold. You peel one and eat it. The flesh is soft and sweet, floury, tasting of autumn and smoke, and the simple pleasure of standing still in the fog. The buildings around you are the buildings of Victorian London, tall and solid, built from brick that has been darkened by decades of coal smoke to a uniform sooty black. The windows are tall and narrow, set deep in the brick, their glass dark or glowing with the warm light of gas or candle. Iron railings guard the basement areas, where steps descend to kitchens and servants' quarters below street level. Some buildings have shops at ground level, their frontages decorated with painted signs and gilded letters. A haberdasher, a chemist, a seller of umbrellas and walking sticks. The signs are difficult to read in the fog, their letters dissolving into the mist, becoming suggestions rather than statements. The sound of the city has changed. In clear weather, London is a roar, 1,000 sounds competing for attention: carriages, street sellers, factory whistles, dogs, the constant low hum of 1 million people living close together. But fog muffles everything. The roar becomes a murmur. The sharp sounds are blunted, the distant ones erased entirely. What remains is intimate and close: your own footsteps, the drip of condensation from a gutter, the muffled clop of a horse somewhere nearby, a voice calling from a doorway. The fog has given you a smaller London, a London that fits in your hand, personal and quiet, and yours alone. A church bell strikes the hour. The sound travels strangely in the fog, reaching you not as a single clear note, but as a series of waves, each one slightly softer than the last, as if the bell is being gradually wrapped in cotton. You count the strikes. 7. It is 7 o'clock in the evening. The shops are closing. The theatres are opening. Somewhere in the West End, audiences are taking their seats for the evening performance. Somewhere in the East End, the night shift is arriving at the docks. London operates on its own complex schedule, a city of 1 million clockworks, each one ticking at its own pace. The bell fades into silence, and the fog closes over the space where the sound was. You pass a newsboy, his cap pulled low, a stack of evening papers under his arm. He calls out the headlines in a voice trained to carry through fog and noise, but tonight the fog wins. His words reach you as fragments: murder, Parliament, railway, the usual London news, crime and politics and progress, compressed into single words that float through the mist, like messages in bottles. You buy a paper. The ink is fresh, still slightly damp, and smells of printer's oil. The headline is about a debate in the House of Commons. You fold the paper and tuck it under your arm. You will read it later, by a fire, with a glass of something warm. For now, you walk. The fog has a colour. It is not white. It is not grey. It is a particular shade of yellow-brown, the result of moisture mixing with coal smoke from 1,000,000 chimneys. The Victorians called it a pea souper, and the name is apt. It is thick enough to taste, slightly bitter, slightly gritty, carrying the flavour of the city itself, its industry, its fires, its millions of burning hearths. It is not pleasant, it is not healthy, but it is beautiful in the way that only imperfect things can be beautiful, turning the gas lamps into golden moons, turning the buildings into soft shapes, turning London into a painting by Whistler. You turn a corner and find a small square. A garden sits in the centre, enclosed by iron railings, its trees bare in the autumn air, their branches making intricate patterns against the fog-lit sky. A single bench is visible through the railings. The houses around the square are Georgian, older than the Victorian buildings on the main street, their facades symmetrical and elegant, their doors flanked by columns. Gas lamps stand at each corner of the square, their light pooling on the pavement, leaving the garden in soft darkness. The square is empty. The fog has driven everyone indoors. You have this small, perfect space entirely to yourself. You pause and breathe. The air is cold and damp and smells faintly of dead leaves. You find the bookshop on a narrow street off the main road. It is the kind of shop that seems to have always been here, its frontage painted dark green, its name in gold letters above the door, its window a display of leather-bound volumes arranged on faded velvet. The door is open despite the cold, and warm light pours out onto the pavement like an invitation. A bell rings softly as you step inside. The smell is immediate and enveloping. Old paper, leather, dust, furniture polish, and the faint, sweet undertone of a coal fire burning in the back of the shop. It is the smell of accumulated time. Every book in this room is a capsule of someone's thoughts, sealed in paper and leather, and waiting. The interior is small and impossibly full. Bookshelves line every wall from floor to ceiling, with barely enough room between them for two people to pass. The shelves are dark wood, mahogany or walnut, their edges worn smooth by generations of browsing fingers. Books are arranged vertically, horizontally, and in precarious stacks on every available surface. There is no order that you can discern, or rather, the order exists only in the mind of the bookseller, who can locate any volume in the shop from memory. A rolling ladder on brass rails allows access to the upper shelves. The ceiling is low and dark, lost in shadow above the topmost books. You feel as if you have stepped inside a mind. The bookseller sits behind a desk near the back, a thin man with spectacles and a waistcoat, a cup of tea at his elbow, a book open before him. He looks up when you enter, nods once, and returns to his reading. This is the correct etiquette of a good bookshop. You are welcome here. You are free to browse. You will not be bothered. The transaction if there is one, will happen when you are ready and not before. The bookseller understands that the relationship between a reader and a book is private, and he will not intrude. You are grateful for this silence. You begin to browse. You pull a book from a shelf. It is heavy in your hands, bound in dark red leather, the title stamped in gold on the spine. You open it. The pages are thick and cream-colored, with rough edges where they were cut by hand. The typeface is large and elegant, each letter pressed deep into the paper by a printing press, leaving a slight indentation that you can feel with your fingertips. The book smells of its own history, the paper, the ink, the glue of the binding, the leather of the cover, and beneath these, the faint ghost of every room it has ever been in. You turn a page. The paper makes a soft, whispering sound. You turn another. A coal fire burns in a small iron grate at the back of the shop. The coals glow deep orange and red, shifting occasionally with a soft click as they settle. The heat radiates outward in a gentle wave that you can feel on your face from 3 feet away. A brass fender guards the hearth. A poker leans against the wall. The fire smells of sulfur and carbon, the particular smell of coal, different from wood, more industrial, more urban, the smell of the age itself. The fire is the heart of the shop, the source of its warmth and its amber light. The books nearest the grate are warmer to the touch, as if they are absorbing the heat and holding it for you. You find a chair near the fire and sit down with the red book. The chair is old, upholstered in worn green velvet, its springs slightly collapsed, which only makes it more comfortable. You sink into it and feel the warmth of the fire on your left side. The book falls open to a random page, and you read. The words are from another century, but they are still good. They describe a journey, a landscape, a feeling of being lost in a place of extraordinary beauty. The author is dead. The world they describe has changed beyond recognition. But the words live. They carry their meaning intact across the decades, arriving in your mind as fresh and clear as the day they were written. The clock on the mantelpiece ticks. It is a small brass carriage clock, its face white, its hands black and thin. The ticking is quiet but persistent, a metronome marking the passage of time in the warm, still room. Between the ticks, silence. The fire crackles. A page turns. The fog presses against the windows, visible as a yellow-grey presence beyond the glass, as if the shop is a submarine and the fog is the sea. Inside, everything is warm and dry and still. Outside, London continues its foggy evening. Carriages and pedestrians and gas lamps and the river. But here, in this chair, by this fire, with this book, the outside world has ceased to matter. The bookseller makes tea. You hear the kettle before you see it. A rising whistle from behind a curtain at the back of the shop. He reappears with 2 cups on a small tray and sets one beside you without a word. The tea is strong and dark, served in a white china cup with a hairline crack in the rim. No milk, no sugar, just the bitter, tannic warmth of good English tea, the kind that clears your head and warms your chest. You wrap your hands around the cup and hold it, feeling the heat transfer through the thin china into your palms. The bookseller returns to his desk and his book. The fire burns. The clock ticks. The tea steams. You browse the upper shelves using the rolling ladder. From up here, the shop looks even smaller, a canyon of books with a narrow floor far below. The books at this height are older, their bindings cracked, their titles faded. You find a volume of maps, its cover worn to a soft brown, and open it on the ladder. The maps show London as it was a century ago, the streets narrower, the river wider, entire neighborhoods that no longer exist. The city on these pages is a ghost of the city outside, familiar in its shape but different in every detail. You trace a street with your finger and realize it is the street you are standing on. The bookshop is here, marked as a small rectangle. It was here then. It is here now. You close the book of maps and return it to its shelf. The shop has grown quieter, if that is possible. The fire has burned lower, its coals a deep, pulsing red. The bookseller has closed his own book and is staring at the fire with the contented expression of a man who has spent his life surrounded by exactly the right things. You set down your teacup, empty now, the tannin staining the white china in a brown ring. You stand, stretch, and nod your thanks to the bookseller. He nods in return. Not a word has passed between you, and none was needed. You step toward the door. The bell rings softly. The fog receives you back. You walk downhill toward the river. The streets slope gently, and you can feel the gradient in your legs, a slight forward lean that London's geography imposes on anyone heading south toward the Thames. The fog is thicker here, nearer to the water, and the gas lamps are farther apart. Between them, the darkness is nearly complete. You navigate by sound and instinct, the echo of your footsteps telling you when you are near a wall, the change in air temperature telling you when you have reached an open space. The city has become a puzzle solved by senses other than sight. You walk like a blind person, trusting your feet, trusting the slope. The smell of the river arrives before the river itself. It is a complex smell, water and mud and iron and something organic, the tidal smell of a river that rises and falls with the sea. The Thames in the 1880s is not a clean river. It carries the waste of the city, the runoff of its factories, the drainage of its millions. But at night, in the fog, the river's smell is softened, blended with the mineral scent of the fog itself, until it becomes something not unpleasant, something that simply means here is water, here is the river, here is the ancient highway that made London possible. You reach the embankment and lean against the stone wall. The Thames is below you, wide and dark, its surface barely visible through the fog. The water moves slowly, carrying reflections of the lamps along the embankment in long, shivering lines of gold. A barge passes, low in the water, its cargo invisible under a tarpaulin. A single lantern burns at its stern, a warm point of light that slides across the dark water and disappears downstream. The barge makes no sound. It moves with the current, silent and heavy, like a thought passing through a sleeping mind. Westminster Bridge is visible to your right, or rather, its lamps are visible. A long string of golden pearls arching across the dark space where the river must be. The bridge itself is hidden in the fog, its stone structure dissolved into the mist, leaving only the lights, suspended in the air as if by magic. The effect is extraordinary. The bridge has become an idea rather than an object, a suggestion of connection between two unseen banks, a line of light drawn across the darkness. Wordsworth wrote about this bridge. He said, "Earth has not anything to show more fair." He was right, but he saw it in daylight. You are seeing it in fog, and the fog has made it something even more. The embankment wall is cold beneath your hands. It is Portland stone, the same pale limestone that faces the great buildings of London, quarried from the coast of Dorset and shipped up the Thames by barge. In daylight, it is creamy white. In fog, it is grey, slick with moisture, its surface slightly rough. You run your fingers along it and feel the slight grit of stone and the smoothness of condensation. Below the wall, the river makes a quiet, lapping sound, water meeting stone, retreating, meeting again. It is the pulse of London, the steady, ancient rhythm that has been beating since before the Romans built their bridge here 2,000 years ago. A steamboat passes further out in the river, its running lights a red and green glow in the fog. The sound of its engine reaches you as a low, rhythmic thudding, muffled by the fog into something almost musical. Steam rises from its funnel and joins the fog, indistinguishable within seconds. The river is London's oldest road. Before the bridges, before the streets, before the cobblestones, there was the river. Everything came and went by water, goods, people, kings, prisoners. The Thames has carried Viking longships and Roman galleys, Tudor barges and Victorian steamers. Tonight, it carries fog and silence, and the distant memory of every vessel that has ever moved across its dark surface. Big Ben strikes. The sound is unmistakable, the deep, resonant bong of the great bell, carrying across the river from the clock tower at the north end of the Palace of Westminster. In the fog, the sound is softened but not diminished. It arrives with a slight delay, travelling across the water and through the mist, reaching you as a warm, round note that vibrates in your chest before fading slowly into the silence. You count the strikes. 8. The evening is moving on. The theatres have begun their first acts. The restaurants are filling. The city is conducting its nightly business while you stand alone by the river, counting the hours and watching the fog. You stand by the river a moment longer. The fog curls around you, damp and cool, touching your face like a cold hand. The lights of the embankment stretch in both directions, growing fainter with distance until they vanish into the mist. The river continues to flow beneath you, dark and patient, carrying its reflections downstream toward the sea. You have stood in this exact spot, or one very like it, in your own time. But the river you see tonight is different. It is fuller, darker, busier, less tamed. It smells different. It sounds different. It is the same Thames, and a completely different Thames, and the fog makes the distinction irrelevant. You turn from the river and walk back toward the warmth of the city. A riverboat is moored to the embankment wall, rocking gently in the current. Its cabin windows glow with warm light. You can see figures inside, shadows moving behind curtained glass. Music drifts across the water, a piano playing something slow and melancholy, the notes reaching you slightly out of time, distorted by the fog and the distance. The music makes the river sadder and more beautiful at once. It is the kind of music that belongs to foggy evenings, to dark water, to cities that have known centuries of rain. The piano plays on. The boat rocks. The fog holds the music close and carries it downstream. You walk along the embankment, your hand trailing along the stone wall. The wall is punctuated by ornate iron lampposts, each one topped with a glass globe that glows like a captive moon in the fog. Dolphins curve around the base of each post, cast in iron, their shapes baroque and whimsical, a Victorian fancy applied to a piece of street furniture. The Victorians could not make anything without decorating it. Even a lamp-post had to be beautiful. Even a drain cover had to have a pattern. This impulse to ornament everything, from bridges to bindings, from railings to railway stations, is what gives Victorian London its particular character, dense, detailed, and deeply made. A policeman passes on his beat, his cape dark with rain, his bull's-eye lantern casting a narrow beam that cuts through the fog like a lighthouse. He nods to you as he passes. His footsteps are heavy and measured, the pace of a man who walks this route every night, who knows every doorway and alley and shadow. The Metropolitan Police have patrolled these streets since 1829. They are the thin blue line between order and the chaos that London, with its poverty and its millions, always threatens to become. The policeman's lantern swings as he walks, painting the fog with a moving stripe of white light. Then he is gone, and the dark closes in. You lean over the embankment wall and look straight down. The water is close, perhaps 15 feet below, dark as ink, and moving with a slow, muscular current. Things float past that you cannot identify, shapes in the water, dark against dark, carried by the tide toward the sea. The Thames is a working river. It carries boats and barges and the commerce of an empire. But at night, in the fog, it carries only shadows and reflections, and the sound it makes against the stone wall is the oldest sound in London. Older than the city, older than the language. The sound of water finding its way to the sea. You find the pub by its light. A warm, amber glow spills from frosted glass windows onto the wet pavement. The sign above the door is painted with a coat of arms and a name you recognize from another century. The door is heavy, dark wood, with a brass handle worn to a bright polish by 10,000 hands. You push it open and step inside. The transition is violent in its gentleness. Cold to warm, damp to dry, silence to murmur, fog to firelight. The pub wraps itself around you like a blanket, and the night outside ceases to exist. The interior is everything a Victorian pub should be. Dark wood panelling, a long bar of polished mahogany, its surface gleaming with the reflections of brass beer taps. Etched glass dividers separating the public bar from the saloon. Framed prints on the walls. A grandfather clock in the corner, its pendulum swinging slowly. And dominating everything, a coal fire in a large iron grate, burning with the steady, intense heat that only coal can produce. The flames are orange and blue, the coals beneath them a deep, glowing red. The heat reaches you where you stand, 10 feet away, and draws you forward. The smell of the pub is layered and rich. The dominant note is ale, the yeasty, hoppy smell of beer that has been served in this room for decades, soaked into the wood, the fabric, the very walls. Beneath it, tobacco smoke, thick and blue, drifting in slow currents toward the stained ceiling. Beneath that, the smell of wet wool, the coats and scarves of the other patrons, steaming gently as they dry by the fire. And beneath everything, the coal, burning steadily, adding its sulphurous warmth to the mix. The combined smell is not elegant, but it is deeply, fundamentally comforting. It is the smell of refuge. You sit at a small table near the fire. The table is round, dark wood, its surface marked with the rings of 1,000 glasses. A barmaid brings you a glass of mulled wine without being asked, as if she knew you were cold, as if she knew you had been walking in the fog. The glass is hot to the touch. The wine is deep red, almost purple, fragrant with cloves and cinnamon and orange peel. You hold it in both hands and feel the heat enter your palms. You drink. The wine is sweet and spiced and warm, spreading through your chest like a slow fire, warming you from the inside, while the coal fire warms you from without. The voices in the pub are low and comfortable. Men and a few women talking in small groups, their conversations private, but their laughter shared. An old man reads a newspaper by the fire, his glasses perched on the end of his nose. 2 men play dominoes at a corner table, the tiles clicking softly as they are placed. A woman in a dark dress sits alone with a glass of port, watching the fire with the distant expression of someone lost in thought. The pub is a democracy of warmth. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is equal before the fire. The fog outside has pressed them all together into this small, warm room, and the result is a kind of accidental community. Rain begins. You hear it before you see it, a soft pattering on the windows, irregular at first, then steadying into a constant, gentle rhythm. The frosted glass blurs further, the gas lamps outside becoming softer, more diffuse through the combination of glass and rain and fog. Inside, the rain makes the pub feel even warmer, even more enclosed. A small wooden boat floating on an ocean of weather. The fire responds to a change in the draft by flaring briefly, throwing a burst of orange light across the room, illuminating faces, glinting on brass, dancing on the surface of your wine. The rain is a gift. It is permission to stay. You finish the mulled wine and sit for a moment with the empty glass. The warmth has reached every part of you now, from your fingertips to your toes. Your coat is drying. Your shoes are steaming faintly. The newspaper under your arm has relaxed, its pages softened by the humid air. You are reluctant to leave. The pub is offering everything you need: warmth, shelter, company without obligation, the gentle sound of rain on glass. But the night is not over. London is still out there, wrapped in its fog and rain, waiting for you to walk its streets one more time. You stand, nod to the barmaid, and push open the heavy door. The cold and the rain receive you together. The publican polishes a glass behind the bar with a white cloth, turning it slowly in his hands. He is a large man with a red face and mutton chop whiskers, the quintessential Victorian landlord. The glass catches the firelight as he turns it, flashing briefly orange before returning to clarity. Behind him, bottles line the shelves in rows, their labels handwritten, their contents ranging from pale ale to dark stout to amber whiskey. A brass tap stands ready at the center of the bar, its handle shaped like a lion's head. The publican sets the glass down and reaches for another. The polishing is continuous, meditative, a ritual as old as the pub itself. The fire pops, sending a small shower of sparks up the chimney. The coals shift and settle, and a new flame appears, blue at the base, orange at the tip, dancing for a moment before settling into a steady burn. You watch the fire the way humans have always watched fire, with unfocused attention, letting the patterns of flame and coal occupy the surface of your mind, while deeper thoughts move slowly beneath. The fire asks nothing. It gives heat and light and the ancient comfort of something burning against the darkness. The Victorians burned coal because it was cheap and abundant, mined from the earth of Wales and the north. Every fire in London tonight is a piece of the earth, returned to energy. A man at the next table is writing a letter. He dips his pen in a portable inkwell and writes in a careful, flowing hand on pale blue paper. His expression is concentrated, private. Letter writing is the communication of this age. Every emotion, every transaction, every declaration of love or regret or business must be committed to paper and posted. The mail in Victorian London is collected and delivered 12 times a day. You can write a letter in the morning and receive a reply by evening. The pen scratches softly. The man pauses, thinks, writes again. Whatever he is saying, it matters enough to say it carefully. Word by chosen word. A dog sleeps by the fire. It is a terrier, small and rough-coated, curled in a tight circle on the warm hearthstones. Its nose is tucked under its tail. Its breathing is slow and deep. Dogs are welcome in Victorian pubs. They guard against rats, provide companionship, and add to the general atmosphere of domestic comfort. This terrier has claimed the best spot in the room, directly in front of the fire, and no one has challenged it. Its ears twitch at a sound too faint for you to hear. Then it settles deeper into sleep. The fire warms its small body. The pub protects it from the rain. It is, at this moment, the most content creature in London. The rain intensifies. You can hear it now, even inside the pub. A steady drumming on the roof, and windows that makes the interior feel even more enclosed and safe. Someone near the bar says, in a low voice, that it will be a wet one tonight. There is a murmur of agreement. Rain is London's constant companion, the weather that defines the city more than any other. Londoners do not complain about rain. They accommodate it. They carry umbrellas. They build pubs. They learn to find beauty in wet streets and grey skies, and the way gas lamps look through streaked glass. The rain is not an interruption. It is the weather that makes London London. The rain falls steadily on the cobblestones. Each drop makes a small splash, a tiny circle of disturbance in the thin film of water that covers every surface. The gas lamps reflect in the wet street, their golden light stretched and repeated in 1,000 puddles, so that the ground beneath your feet seems to glow. You open your umbrella. It is a large black umbrella with a curved wooden handle, the kind that every gentleman in London carries as automatically as he carries his keys. The rain drums on the stretched fabric above your head, a private percussion that accompanies your footsteps as you walk. Under the umbrella, you are dry. Around you, the city gleams. The rain has changed the city. The fog has thinned slightly, washed from the air by the falling water, and the buildings are clearer now, their outlines sharper, their surfaces slick and dark. Water runs in the gutters, finding its way to the drains, carrying leaves and paper and small debris in its gentle current. The gutters are rivers in miniature, complete with rapids and eddies, and the occasional waterfall where the curb drops at a crossing. You walk along the pavement and listen to the water. It is everywhere, falling, flowing, dripping, collecting. The city has become a water instrument, every surface a drum, every gutter a stream, every drain a waterfall. You pass a church. Its stone facade is dark and wet, its stained glass windows showing nothing from the outside except a faint, warm glow where a candle burns within. The churchyard is enclosed by an iron fence, and beyond it, gravestones lean at various angles in the wet grass, their inscriptions washed by the rain until they are barely legible. A yew tree stands among them, its evergreen branches black and heavy with water. Churches in Victorian London are everywhere, one on nearly every block, their spires and towers rising above the rooftops like masts on a fleet of stone ships. This one is quiet, its doors closed, its congregation at home. Only the dead are here, sleeping in the rain. The streets are nearly empty now. The rain has driven everyone indoors. Occasionally, a figure appears ahead, an umbrella moving through the gaslight, a silhouette that materializes and vanishes in the space of a few seconds. Each one is a story you will never know, a person with a destination and a reason, hurrying through the rain on business that is entirely their own. You imagine their lives briefly as they pass. A doctor making a late call, a clerk walking home from the office, a woman returning from visiting a friend. The rain equalizes everyone. Under umbrellas in the dark, all silhouettes look the same. London's millions are reduced to shapes in the rain. You cross a bridge over a small canal. The rain makes circles on the dark water below, thousands of tiny impacts, each one sending out rings that overlap and interfere with each other in a complex, ever-changing pattern. A gas lamp on the bridge illuminates the rain itself, turning each falling drop into a brief streak of gold. For a moment, standing on the bridge, looking down at the water, you see rain as light. Each drop is a tiny lamp, lit for a fraction of a second, falling from the darkness into the darkness, bright only in the moment it passes through the gaslight. You watch this for longer than you intend. It is hypnotic. It is beautiful. It is London at its most quietly magical. Your shoes are wet. The leather has darkened, and you can feel the damp seeping through to your socks. Your trouser cuffs are heavy with water. The umbrella keeps your head and shoulders dry, but everything below the waist is slowly surrendering to the rain. You do not mind. There is a pleasure in walking through rain that you have accepted, a freedom that comes with giving up the fight to stay dry. The rain is not your enemy. It is your companion. It walks with you, drums on your umbrella, splashes around your feet, and asks nothing in return except that you keep walking. The rain eases. The drumming on your umbrella softens from a march to a waltz, then to a whisper, then to nothing. You close the umbrella and shake it. The last drops fall from its ribs like a dog shaking water from its coat. The air is clean now, washed by the rain, smelling of wet stone and wet leaves and the distant river. The fog is returning already, creeping back into the spaces that the rain had cleared. Softer this time, gentler, more like breath than smoke. The gas lamps regain their halos. The buildings soften at their edges. London is wrapping itself up again, pulling the fog around its shoulders like a shawl. The wet cobblestones make a particular sound under your shoes. It is sharper than dry stone, crisper, each footstep a small percussion that the rain amplifies, and the buildings return as echo. You develop a rhythm as you walk, a pace that matches the rain, that matches the dripping gutters, that matches the distant clip of a horse on another street. The city is conducting a symphony of water sounds, and you are one of the instruments. Your footsteps are the bass line, steady and measured. The rain is the melody, variable and complex. The gutters provide harmony. Together, you make something that is not quite music, but is not quite silence either. You pass a row of shops, all closed and shuttered for the night. A baker's, a tobacconist's, a chemist with coloured glass bottles in the window, red and blue and green, catching the gaslight and glowing like jewels. These bottles are the traditional sign of a chemist, dating back centuries, when the colored liquids in the window indicated that medicines were available within. The bottles serve no practical purpose now. They are purely decorative, a tradition maintained because it is beautiful. The rain runs down the glass in uneven streams, distorting the colors, making them blur and blend. Red becomes purple, blue becomes green. The window is a small, accidental work of art. A horse stands alone at a hitching post, its head lowered against the rain. It is a working horse, a cab horse probably, waiting for its driver to return from wherever drivers go when the streets are too wet and too empty for fares. The horse is patient. Rain drips from its mane and collects at the tip of its nose before falling. Its eyes are half closed. Its coat, dark with water, steams faintly in the cold air. You stop and stand beside it for a moment. You do not touch it. You simply share the rain with it. Two creatures standing in the wet dark, waiting for nothing in particular, finding comfort in the mere fact of company. A gas lamp flickers above you. The flame inside the glass globe gutters and dims, then recovers, brightening until its halo of golden light extends once more to its full radius. Gas lamps are temperamental. They respond to wind, to rain, to changes in the gas pressure, in the underground pipes that feed them. Each lamp has its own personality, its own rhythm of brightening and dimming, its own particular shade of gold. This one burns warm and slightly orange, the color of marmalade. The rain passes through its light in bright, visible streaks, each drop a tiny golden line drawn from sky to stone. You stand under the lamp and let the light fall on you. For a moment, you glow too. You turn down a narrow lane, a shortcut between two main streets. The lane is dark, too narrow for a gas lamp. Its walls so close, you could touch both sides by stretching out your arms. Rain does not fall here. It collects on the rooftops above and pours down in thin streams at the entrance and exit, curtains of water that you push through. Inside the lane, the air is still and smells of brick and damp plaster. Your footsteps echo sharply in the enclosed space. Halfway through, you stop and listen. The city is muffled to a whisper. The rain is a curtain at both ends. You stand in a pocket of silence, hidden in the middle of London, invisible and still. You enter the park through a gate in a high iron fence. The gate is unlocked, slightly open, as if the park has been expecting you. The path inside is gravel, pale and crunching softly under your feet. Trees line both sides, their bare branches forming a canopy of dark lines against the sky. The park is darker than the street, farther from the gas lamps, closer to whatever London was before it was London, a place of trees and earth and silence. The fog is thinner here, held at bay by the trees, and you can see further than you have all evening. The park opens before you like a room, enclosed and private, dark and quiet and waiting. The trees are London planes, the tall, mottled bark trees that line every park and avenue in the city. They were planted to withstand the pollution, their bark shedding in patches to prevent the buildup of soot. In daylight, their trunks are a patchwork of green, cream, and brown. In the dark, they are pillars of shadow, smooth and massive, rising from the wet ground into the branches above. Drops of water still fall from the leaves, delayed rain landing on your head and shoulders with small, cold touches. The trees drip. The gravel path glistens. The park smells of wet earth and decomposing leaves. The rich, dark smell of autumn returning to the soil. A bench waits beside the path. It is a cast-iron bench with wooden slats, the kind found in every London park, its design unchanged for a century. The wood is wet, but you sit anyway. The dampness soaks through your coat immediately, cold and insistent. You do not stand up. You have been walking for hours. Your legs are tired. Your feet are wet. Your body wants to stop. And the bench, for all its wetness, is offering the one thing you need most, the chance to be still. You sit and let the stillness take you. The park holds its breath around you. The city is a distant murmur beyond the trees. You can hear it the way you hear the sea from a beach house, present but not pressing. A low, continuous sound that is more vibration than noise. London is out there, 5 million people going about their evening. But in here, in this park, on this bench, the city might as well be on another continent. The fog has crept into the park now, low to the ground, winding between the tree trunks like slow smoke. It softens the gravel path into a pale ribbon. It turns the far side of the park into a grey void. You sit at the edge of the visible world, and beyond you, there is only fog. An owl calls from somewhere in the trees above you. The sound is soft and round. 2 notes, a question asked without expecting an answer. Owls have lived in London's parks for centuries, surviving the growth of the city around them by adapting, hunting rats and pigeons instead of field mice, nesting in the old trees that the parks preserve. This owl is invisible, hidden in the branches, but its voice fills the park with a wildness that the cobblestones and gas lamps and brick buildings cannot erase. London is a city, but it is also a place where owls call in the dark, where foxes trot along the towpaths, where the ancient world persists in the spaces between the buildings. The fog thickens around you. The bench, the trees, the path, all begin to soften and blur. The city beyond the trees has disappeared entirely. The gas lamps on the surrounding streets are invisible. You are sitting in a cloud, a warm, damp, silent cloud that has settled over the park like a blanket over a sleeping child. The fog erases everything that is not immediate. There is only the bench beneath you, the ground beneath the bench, the air around you, and the slow, steady sound of water dripping from the trees. Everything else is suggestion, memory, imagination. The fog has given you the greatest gift a city can give. It has given you solitude. Your eyes grow heavy. The day has been long. The walk has been long. The fog is warm enough. The bench is familiar enough. The park is quiet enough. Your body is making its argument for sleep, and the argument is persuasive. Your breathing slows. Your shoulders drop. The sound of dripping water becomes a rhythm, regular and gentle, a lullaby written by rain and leaves and gravity. London sleeps around you, its millions of lives suspended in the fog, its streets empty, its fires banked, its gas lamps burning faithfully through the long, dark night. You are one of those millions now. You belong to this city, to this fog, to this bench, to this night. Close your eyes. The fog will keep you safe. It wraps around the park, around the bench, around you, a cocoon of soft grey silence. The city is still out there, vast and complicated and alive, but it has agreed to be quiet for a few hours, to let its people rest, to let its streets lie empty, to let its fog do what fog does best, which is to erase the hard edges of the world and replace them with something softer, something kinder, something that forgives the city, its noise and its dirt, and its millions of small, important lives. Sleep now. London will be here in the morning, solid and loud and bright. But tonight it is fog and silence, and the slow drip of rain from the trees. Tonight is gentle. Tonight it is yours. The park grass is soft and wet beneath the gravel. Where the path curves, you step onto the lawn and feel the ground yield slightly under your weight. The grass is thick, the kind of English grass that thrives in rain and cool temperatures, each blade beaded with water that soaks through your shoes. You do not stay on the grass long. You step back onto the gravel and continue along the path, deeper into the park. The trees grow closer together here, their branches interlocking overhead to form a natural roof that catches the fog and holds it, creating a low, dense layer of mist that hovers waist-high above the ground. You walk through it, and it parts around you like water around the prow of a slow boat. A fox crosses the path ahead of you. It appears without warning, a red-brown shape emerging from the undergrowth, pausing in the middle of the gravel to look at you with bright, calculating eyes. London's foxes are urban survivors, living in parks and gardens and railway embankments, hunting rats and scavenging from dustbins. They have been here for generations, adapting to the city the way the city adapts to everything, absorbing the wild into its built environment until the two become inseparable. The fox holds your gaze for 3 seconds, 4, 5. Then it turns and trots into the bushes on the other side of the path. Its tail a dark plume that vanishes into the fog. The bench you find is beneath an old oak tree. The tree is enormous, its trunk wider than you could reach around, its branches spreading outward in every direction like the arms of a giant. It has been growing here for centuries, since before the park was a park, since before London was London. Acorns lie scattered on the ground around it, wet and brown, each one containing a tree that will never grow. The oak's roots have lifted the gravel path slightly, creating a gentle undulation that you feel beneath your feet. The tree is patient and ancient, and it holds the bench in the shelter of its lowest branch, the way a grandfather holds a chair for a child. From the bench, you can see the glow of the city beyond the park's edge. It is a warm, diffuse light, amber and gold, rising from the streets and reflecting off the underside of the fog. The city lights the fog from below, and the fog holds the light, creating a ceiling of soft gold above London that makes the night less dark than it should be. It is a particular kind of beauty, unintentional, industrial, the byproduct of 1,000,000 gas lamps and coal fires burning in the dark. No one designed it. No one controls it. It simply exists, a nightly gift from a city to its own sky, a fog made golden by the light it tries to hide.